I'm so excited for you to be here with me right now. This is my first ever YouTube video, and I have created this YouTube channel specifically to help people learn how they can grow their personal brand on LinkedIn and generate leads for their business off the back end of it. I'm launching a 10-part series. This is episode 1, and in this one, I'm going to be talking you through how I left a safe role in the mines to leave that, launch my own business, and leverage my brand on LinkedIn to generate over $500,000 in revenue. This platform is full of so many opportunities, and I've had the honor of coaching people who have already existing businesses or are wanting to leave their job to start a business, leverage their brand on LinkedIn to do so. So excited for you to be here. I'm so passionate about this, and the reason I'm passionate about this is because LinkedIn changed my life. And I know that sounds probably very dorky and maybe a little bit lame and a bit cringy, but it's the truth. I want to take you back. I want to take you back and share a little bit about my journey to give you context, because you may be watching this working a job at the moment that you absolutely hate or miserable in, and I have been there. And so I want you to know that my journey, my success is coming from a place of being where you are right now. My name is Katisha Hembro, and I grew up in North Brisbane in sunny Queensland in Australia. And I did the typical thing. I went to school and then I went to university because that's what successful people are meant to do. And I studied a Bachelor of Business. I majored in a bunch of things and minored in a bunch of things. When I finished my degree, my first thought was, well, I'm in all this debt from my uni degree. All I care about is getting a high paying job. And I know that's probably really terrible to admit, but that was just where I was at. And somehow I super randomly landed a role with a mining company in their operations and logistics team, controlling dump trucks in the mines. I was one of the youngest controllers they ever employed for the role. I remember I got it on my 20th birthday. And the role itself was actually really cool. Like, it was a really interesting role, but it came with a whole lot of responsibility and a whole lot of pressure. And I got quite sick. I got really sick from the stress of the role. I started the role in January of 2019. And in that year, I had 2 rounds of glandular fever. I got sick with tonsillitis 8 times. So I basically lived on antibiotics for 18 months. I had emergency trips to hospital, from reactions to medications, like everything you could think of, I had in 2019. And I got to the point where I was just an absolute shell of a human being. And some of you may be watching this video right now really resonating and connecting with this. And I think, unfortunately, that's the sad reality, is that there's a lot of people working, whether it's a 9 to 5 or shift work, which is what I was doing. And people are really unhappy, and not only unhappy, but they're really, really unhealthy. And I got to a stage that by the end of the year, I sat there and I thought to myself, like, what is the point of this? Yes, I was earning really good money, but I was so incredibly ill. I had no social life. I had a failing relationship. And I made the call in January of 2020, right before the world got really weird. I made the call to quit my job. And I was absolutely devastated that it didn't work out, because it was a cool role, but I knew it wasn't for me. And I always knew that I was meant to be a business owner. Even growing up, I knew, I remember girls my age were fangirling over Justin Bieber, and I was fangirling over Naomi Simpson and Janine Alice from Shark Tank. And I've always been business minded. So I made the decision in January 2020 to leave my job without anything lined up. And then about 6 months later, once I recovered from all of the health issues that I went through, 6 months later, I made the decision to launch my own consulting business, helping companies with their communication and culture. Now, when I did that, I had 0 LinkedIn presence. I had about 30 connections on LinkedIn. I pretty quickly realized that I needed to do 2 things in order to grow my business. A, to do in-person networking, to get my face out there and to be known, and to also grow my presence on LinkedIn. So what I did was I started posting content on LinkedIn. I started connecting with people. I went to a bunch of in-person networking events. And with that, my following grew quite quickly. And about 3 years ago, what ended up happening was I had some people reach out to me and ask me to support them in growing their brand on LinkedIn, which I did for a year without marketing or doing any advertising around the fact that I was actually taking on clients, supporting them to do this. Now, at the time, I was running other businesses, but Be Known, the name of my company, was really starting to take off. So what I did was I made the hard call to shut down my other businesses, and I went all in on Be Known. By the way, if you already have a LinkedIn profile set up, go and send me a connection request. I would love to connect with you. Let me know that you have watched my YouTube channel and you've seen some videos. I'll drop a link to my profile in the description below and come and say hello. So what happened was I started advertising the Be Known Academy 2 years ago. I started attracting leads for me to actually coach people on how to grow their brand on LinkedIn. And this is, I guess, the natural evolution of how my business came about. And from that, I have generated over $500,000 in revenue. To go from being really miserable, sick, unhappy in life, in my role in the mining industry, to now be spending a Monday with a film crew filming a YouTube video on a random, what is it today? Is it Monday or Tuesday? It's Monday. On a random Monday. And this is my life, is honestly just, it is so surreal, but this is what happens when you're brave enough to put yourself out there, and not only put yourself out there, but to put a bet on yourself to create a life that you've always dreamed of. And I've been so honored that over the last 2 years, I've been working 100% remotely. I coach clients all across the world. I've worked with so many different types of people and industries. I've coached clients in over 40 different industries. And to have just built such a beautiful business and a beautiful community with the most amazing people, it's something that I will always be grateful for. But that came off the back of my brand. So what I've been doing over the last couple of years is I have been coaching clients privately or in group coaching, helping them to do the same. So I typically work with either business owners that already have established businesses that really want to take their branding and their business to the next level. I work with sales professionals that are looking to generate more leads and earn more commission. And I also work with startups, so people that are in their 9 to 5 or their job, and they're wanting to make that transition, to take that leap of faith and scale their own company to be able to then leave their corporate job or whatever role they might be in. I know I shouldn't say I have favorite clients, but they are typically my favorite to work with because it's incredibly rewarding. I've obviously gone through my own journey of working in a role that I was really unhappy in. So to be able to pass that gift on to somebody else and give them the knowledge that they need to succeed is truly one of the most fulfilling things that I would say I've ever done in my life. So from here, I've been interviewed on dozens and dozens of podcasts. I've spoken on stages, and I now have a community of almost 15,000 on LinkedIn. What can you expect now from me? Over the coming months, I am going to be dropping episodes. By the way, if you want to know when those episodes get dropped live, please subscribe to my mailing list, because I'm not supposed to do this, but I am going to sneaky let my mailing list know about when each episode is going to drop live. So please use the link below and register for my mailing list so you can stay up to date for when I do drop episodes. But the intention over the coming months is I want to educate you and show you exactly what you need to do in order to grow your brand online and generate leads for your business off the back of it. I see a lot of influencers and people creating YouTube videos where they only give away a tiny bit or just enough, and I'm not going to do that. And I understand the logic behind what they're doing because they want you to, pay more to get the rest of the information. But I'm a big believer in just giving away freely and knowing that it comes back. So I'm not going to be holding back in these videos. I'm going to be telling you exactly what you need to do, right through to what to put on your LinkedIn profile, what to do with your content, how to reach out to people without coming across salesy or feeling icky. That is all going to be covered in this series. So if you are interested, you're excited about that, let me know in the comments as well, because I Would love to get some feedback from you guys around what you're looking for. I'm big on community, and if you go and follow me on LinkedIn, you will see that across my content and the way I engage with my audience. But I'm just a big believer in value first, and then hey, if you decide that you you like me enough after watching these videos, then you can jump into my academy. But ultimately, this YouTube channel is all about giving back. So I'm excited to see what comes over the coming months. I'm excited to see the results that you get from watching these YouTube videos and actually implementing the things that I teach you in order to grow your brand. I can't wait to see more business owners scale on LinkedIn. I can't wait to see more sales professionals win more business, but I also cannot friggin' wait to rescue more people from the jobs that they absolutely hate and help them build a life on their terms. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. In the next episode, I'm going to be showing you how you can generate your first 100,000 in sales off the back of your personal brand on LinkedIn. So stay tuned for that.